In this video, I identified the adoption of effective digital learning design as the most serious challenge educational organizations will face over the next few years. After conducting a consultation with 6 digital leaders from across faculties at the University of Liverpool, I identified the current barriers for the adoption of effective digital learning design and offer a practical strategy to address this digital leadership challenge. If we follow Rogers' diffusion of innovation stages as a framework for the adoption of digital learning design frameworks and technologies, knowledge, persuasion, decision, implementation, and confirmation, we can observe that digital leaders often fail in moving through the 5 stages of Rogers' adoption process. Higher education studies have reported barriers such as the lack of time, lack of support, competing priorities, the complexity of technology, and a poor return on investment for using technology as the main reasons affecting the adoption of learning design frameworks and technologies. In addition, support considerations include training and workshops, peer support, community of practice, and the emphasis on experimentation. To create digitally fluent organizations that are able to apply the principles of effective digital learning design, it is crucial that they are able to create a dynamic ecosystem for learning by making use of the available learning design frameworks and technologies for teaching. Given the increasing complexity of digital transformation, it is reasonable to expect an organization's resistance to the time investment of learning 2 or more digital technologies and learning design frameworks to enhance academic practice, making this one of the most serious challenges for educational institutions in the coming years. After analysis and consideration of the national educational landscape, I conducted a consultation with 6 digital leaders from across faculties at the University of Liverpool. They have identified these top 3 barriers to the adoption of digital learning design frameworks. 1. Workload. Expectations of research productivity, teaching responsibilities, and learning new technologies and learning design frameworks seem to be the most pressing issue and barrier. 2. Lack of time. Timing and regularity of training sessions. It is key to create inclusive opportunities for staff development. 3. Lack of support. New and updated versions of tools make it challenging for colleagues to keep up with the constantly evolving ecosystem of tools. In the light of these issues, I will answer the following question. What practical strategy would address the challenge of digital learning design adoption in educational organizations? From the many potential strategies to address this digital leadership challenge, such as appropriate training and workshops, incentives for technology use, and sound academic practice, and focus on experimentations, I propose virtual communities of practice as a key strategy to overcome the barriers encountered in the adoption of digital learning design principles and technologies. By providing the online support, space, and learning exchange with an emphasis on peer-to-peer learning and networking in a community of practice, teaching staff can feel empowered and motivated to learn new pedagogical practices and technologies and apply them into their teaching practice. It is the culture of collegiality, experimentation, and exchange of ideas that a community of practice enables, which is likely to positively affect teaching staff's use of digital learning design frameworks. This strategy is particularly effective when integrating the faculty's pedagogical beliefs and learning context via a peer coaching approach, as the coach will reflect the expertise in teaching in a given discipline. A community of practice approach offers the possibility of bringing together the various types of solutions and best practice into one communal space. Regardless of the chosen strategy, it is key that digital leaders work with teaching staff and students to find the most effective way to support them.